Welcome back to another episode of Let's Play 1001 Games. I'm your host, Gaming Jay, and get your minds out of the gutters, guys. This is a finger pointing at a ball. Just minds right out of the gutter. Today we're playing One Dot Enemies as part of our journey through the book 1001 Video Games Let's Play Before You Die. Recently, the book has been forcing me to play some iOS games, which we are doing under duress. But, I don't even know when the last one I played gonna come out. I'm kind of looking at my list right now of games. I totally just played one. When am I planning to release it? I sometimes film these things out of order. It's a little behind the scenes secret you may or may not know. Oh, I already released it. Geo Defense Swarm came out in mid-February, so there you go. All right, we're playing another one. One Dot Enemies. Once again, this is not a penis. All right, jumping into the game here. I have no idea what to expect. Shake this device to go back. Well, that's going to be a problem because I don't want to shake my iPad tablet here while you guys are looking. So you can touch on the screen. And dots appear. Oh my god! It is impossible to see, but there are tiny little dots. You can't even see them on the screen. But I swear, when I touch them, little skulls appear. This game should be called Man vs. Dust. This is crazy. Okay. So I'm just gonna squish a bunch of these little bugs. It's like I don't even notice when they spawn because they're so tiny. Okay, I truly don't know what the point of this game is. I don't even think we're getting a score. Is there a level? Do we just do this forever? Okay. I mean, this barely qualifies as a game in my, if I'm being totally honest with you. I can't even see any more dots. Oh, there's one. I mean, there seems to be no time limit. You could just randomly tap on the screen. Actually, I guess you couldn't, because the odds of hitting one of these dots is so minor. But, okay. There's a dot right around here. This thing here might be showing up on your screen. I'm pretty sure that's not a dot. But I'm kind of following one now. I'm looking at the video recording. It's like they kind of show up on video. I can't even put this closer because the camera I have, it gets all blurry. But believe me, there are dots. And you do this to them. So anyway. Well, I don't know what else there is to say about this game. You can put it into full screen mode. There we go. Now you can really see what's going on. I also have this magazine. I wasn't planning on talking about this magazine here today, but it's sitting beside me, and I am scrambling for something to put on the air now because we started to play this. Pretty cool magazine. You can't really see it because, again, I don't... You know what? I'm just going to move this iPad back. Here, we played the game. One Dot Hero Enemies. In the 1001 Games book, you must play before you die. Don't play it. All right, here's a magazine about video games. You can barely read it. It's illegible and oversized because my camera is set up to view an iPad. I think this is more interesting than One Dot Enemies. Here, let's find a random page. Here, look. This is, you guys remember Dr. Robotnik from Sonic the Hedgehog 2? I'm like scrambling to find the focus of the camera. There we go, right there. Now let's look at another page here. This is Street Fighter. Again, you can't see very well, but it's Street Fighter 2. Kind of a cool magazine, actually. If you guys have never heard of, it is called the Retro Gaming Magazine. And they do all these special editions. I got this one for Christmas this year, the Ultimate 90s Retro Gaming Collection. Has all sorts of really cool stuff. I mean, the magazine just... I wish the camera was aimed better to see this. But, oh yeah, look, you can see like Mario and Toad on the front. See if I can find another cool page. I mean, we might as well do this instead of playing an iPad game where you... Literally, I can't even see what's going on in it, right? You guys just tune in, you watch me read a magazine that you can't even see. And it's better than the game we're supposed to be playing. How about that? Oh, this one is talking about Star Wars games. It's kind of cool. Man, my lighting here is so bad. You know, I'm not set up for like live video recordings. I'm really set up for video capture. I very seldomly dabbled in like live performances. But look at that. There's a page of something. Things. Images to look at. Oh, did you want to see what's going on the iPad? Here. You're missing tons. Okay, we'll just put that back over here. There we go. And what else we got? Oh, look at this. This is a picture of a chopper. Pixel art. There we go. God, this... the distance of this camera sucks. It's so bad. It's just not set up for this. Really. Anyway, there's all sorts of cool stuff. Oh, this is a good game. This one here. Alien Breed. I'm gonna do it upside down so you can actually see it. The way the camera is. You still can't even see it. Wow, this is like the most embarrassing episode ever. I can't believe you guys are watching this. I can't believe you haven't turned it away yet. I think you're hoping there's going to be some kind of like awesome ending, but there won't. But Alien Breed, if I can show this. Oh God, the angles. No, I can't. I mean, I could just show you a picture of Alien Breed through the magic of editing. So this is Alien Breed. It's a pretty badass game if you ask me. Amazing pixel art graphics. You're fighting aliens, you got cool guns. I never played this game growing up, but it's one of the gems that I feel like I definitely missed out on because I've played it since. And it is pretty rad. Oh my God, there's a thing on the screen. Look at this. Can you guys see it? I'll get it into focus. There's a big dot. You can finally see something. There's a bunch of little dots out here. See, I can squish them. The big dot. Oh, he explodes into a bunch of little dots. Anyway, this game sucks. Don't play it. One dot here. You know, I guess, like, truth be told, like, if back in the day, if you were playing this on your phone in the early days of iPhone, like, sure, yeah, I guess it's kind of interesting. You'd tap on some dots and they turn into skulls. But, like, this is like the Nibbles, or the Snake equivalent of a smartphone game. I mean, first of all, who's going to play this crap on their tablet? There's so many better games out there. But then... You know, like, not to disparage Snake. Snake was actually kind of a funny game. I would say Snake is a better game than this, frankly. But Snake was, like, the most basic game that was on, like, Nokia phones and stuff. And, like, everyone just had it for a while. And I feel like it really burned itself out. Well, there's another big one. There we go. This is sort of like Geometry Wars, but with dots. I really have nothing else to say about it. I'm going to look up one dot enemies. I didn't look anything up about this game before I sat down to play it. Doesn't even have a Wikipedia entry that comes up. So, all right, we're going to go into the book. I like to go into these games blind these days because, we've played like 700 games from the book. I kind of got tired of just reading the generic descriptions of the games from the book because the book doesn't, like, it gives you a little context, but it mostly is just like, this is a good game. It does thing X and Y, and it was a big deal. Now you play it. Okay, wait, why isn't it in the book? Hold on. All right, so this is a funny fact, but there's actually multiple editions of this book, and I'm playing the 1001 list from the original book. This game was removed from a later edition. That's why the physical copy I'm holding doesn't have it in. It says a lot about a game when it gets removed from the 1001 You Must playlist. It's like the writers had second thoughts. Anyway, it's a common complaint nowadays that games have become too complex. They ask too much of us, expect us to get to grips with the most elaborate control schemes, objectives, and offer nothing but the briefest tutorials at the start of it all. One Dot Enemies is not one of those games, I'll fucking say. Kenjul Eno's bizarre time waster couldn't be simpler if it tried. In fact, presenting you with a blank white screen, all it wants you to do is squash little bugs that race across it. Games you score doesn't hurry you along, there's no penalty for missing an enemy. Oh good, it's great when games have absolutely no stakes. These bugs are pretty small too, with each one taking the space of a single pixel. You could just randomly drum your fingers, blah blah blah. So that's pretty much it, aside from a few Easter eggs, which, honestly, if the game cares this little to be a game, I don't care enough to find its Easter eggs. Actually, that's not quite it. The very end of the experience, when you're ready to get on with your life, you have the option to add your score to a worldwide tally. Frighteningly large number of details, blah blah blah. Wow, what a waste of space. This game should not be in the I'm very rarely outright negative, but I got nothing positive to say about this one, man. Like, I get that it's like, it might have been like a Flappy Bird kind of phenomenon when it came out, but even Flappy Bird belongs more in this book. Like, unless this was like a worldwide phenomenon, like that exploded like Flappy Bird. Because like, here's the thing, Flappy Bird, it's really not that good of a game. It's extremely hard and repetitive, but it's like, it does have some weird little addictive charm to it. You know, I don't know what you're supposed to get out of tapping a pure white screen with little bugs. I mean, I guess if you were bored out of your mind, you know, maybe you would play it. But I don't even think somebody who never played video games in their life would find this interesting. It's like, again, I think the guy who made this didn't know how to make games, and he made it, and then people were sort of like, whoa, it's so like indie that it went so basic, and he's like, yeah, and he just kind of went with it. But here, this is more interesting today, the Amiga book. So I own a bunch of these retro gamer magazines. I also have some PDFs of their old editions saved. But yeah, this is pretty cool. If you ever see these, you see them at like, you know, Chapters or Indigo, or I guess Barnes and Noble, if you're American. I don't know what other bookstores exist in the world. But yeah, I just find them like, ooh, that's a good game. The Chaos Engine. I've been saving that one, actually. Because, fun fact, you can get it on Steam and play it multiplayer, like online. So I've been waiting to play it with somebody. And over the years, I almost lined up once or twice to play with different other like YouTubers or podcasters or something, but like just didn't quite work out for the timing. And now my schedule just doesn't permit that at the moment. So, you know, busy with other life things. Chuck Rock, Joe and Mac, man, look at that. These look like VHS tapes, actually. But yeah, these magazines, I find I don't read them as much as I like to sort of sift through them and just look at all the cool pixel art. Like, look at that page. Look at that page right there. Like, that's just so cool. You know what would make this page better is if they got rid of all the colors and just made it pure white. And then they drew a penis that was squashing little tiny dots that were so small you couldn't see them. That would make this better. But in lieu of that, I think this pixel art is pretty nice looking. So that's the thing. Amiga. So yeah, if you played the Amiga back in the day, this is probably... Oh, look at that. He's barfing out a dinosaur. One dinosaur is barfing another dinosaur in a street fight. Now that's a game with stakes. Star Trek, that's pretty cool too. Some of these games you probably recognize. I mean, you probably recognize from life. If you're watching this channel, I have no illusions that like you didn't play video games in your own right. But there's a number of these I'm noticing. I'm like, oh, we played that one. Oh, we played that one too. You guys doing a roundhouse kick in his undies. I guess a lot of people fight in their underwear. Like the people who are serious about it. It's like the dudes who are serious fight in their underwear, and then the women who are being objectified fight in their underwear. Sort of an interesting dynamic there. Ooh, the Amiga. Okay, this controller here. This controller. This is one that I coveted for a long time. And then they came out with the mini Amiga system, and I bought it. Now I have a controller like this. And I've only used it a couple times, but I love it. So cool. It looks like I've said this before, it looks like a Super Nintendo controller from a parallel universe. Like if we could hop universes, like in Sliders, travel between worlds. Man, that was a good show, Sliders. Fun fact, my French teacher, when I was a kid, in like grade 9, she tutored the guy who played the main character in Sliders. I forget his name now. I want to say like John Quincy or something, but that's not it. She tutored him not on Sliders, but he was on a show before Sliders, a Canadian show called My Secret Identity, which was about a kid who got splashed with radioactive goo and then basically became Superman. He could fly, super speed, super strength, all that stuff, but he was keeping it hidden, and only the scientist, it was sort of like a Doc and Marty relationship, only the scientist who made the goo knew about him. But, oh, My Secret Identity, that was a good show. Anyway, my French teacher, because in Canada we learn French, we don't learn, I think, Spanish, what you guys learn in America. I say you guys, I mean, I'm sure Europeans are watching this too, and they're like, hey, in Europe we learn whatever languages we learn as a second language. Do you learn second languages in Europe? In North America, in Canada, we have to learn French, And in America, you have to learn Spanish, I'm led to believe. In Europe, here's a question for you. Do you learn second languages in school? Or do they just not bother? They're like, you're in Europe. You're cultured enough. But yeah, so my French teacher in when I was in grade 9, she previously had been a tutor for... What was the guy's name? Quinn was his name on the show. That's why I'm thinking of a Q name. Quinn was the main character guy. Okay, I gotta look it up. So I have an iPad beside me with a game I'm not playing. I have my computer right now scrolling through this PDF. I have another computer screen showing me OBS as I record this, and I've pulled out my phone now to look up the actor who plays Quinn in Sliders. So we're up to 4 screens now. I think it's a record for my channel. Jerry O'Connell, that's it. I'm going to throw a picture of this guy up right now. And this is him in My Secret Identity, and or this could be the title screen of My Secret Identity. I don't know what I'm going to find yet, but this is it. Good show. Good old show. There's another show I really like, since we're talking about old Canadian shows. I think this one was American, but it was called The Edison Twins. And it was basically just a brother. It was 2 brothers, an older and a younger one, and a sister. So the older brother and the sister were the same age, and then there was like a younger kid. And basically they just sort of solved science-based mysteries. And then at the end of the episode, they would show you how to like make a science craft, like a volcano or like a mirror that made it look like you were invisible and all sorts of stuff. And so I loved watching it because as a kid, I was obsessed with like science and, you know, I wanted to be a Ghostbuster and build gadgets and stuff. Hey, Lemmings. And so I would watch the Edison Twins because it was a great 80s show, but then also like I wanted to learn the scientific principles of how to like bend light or like, you know, make sound bubbles or whatever little thing they were showing you was sort of like experiments you could do at home. So there's more background on me for our Enemies episode. Syndicate, that was a good game too. Anyway, I don't really have anything else to say for this episode here. So Enemies doesn't belong in the book. Don't play it. Total waste of space. And if you are a fan of Heroes and you are highly offended by my opinion here, please leave a comment down below. Let me know what's going on. Let me know what makes Enemies great. I mean, I'm probably just totally in the wrong mindset to ever enjoy that game. But I guess I feel like the longer I play through this book, the more I feel like an 80-year-old, where it's like I've played through, you know, Sonny, I've played through 760 games. I've seen the good ones and I've seen the bad ones, and I ain't got time for your white screen with a couple of dots. Come back when you got a real game. You know, like just my patience for... I don't even want to say mediocre. I don't want to judge it, but my patience for games like Enemies has reached a point where I have no more Fs to give. You know, like I've been as understanding as I can to games as we've gone through. Because the thing is, not all games age well. And there are a lot of games that were like really important for their time, but you play them now and they're just like not fun. But like back in the day, like they were the shit, you know? So games have this interesting thing where like some are kind of timeless and will be great forever, but then there's other ones that like it's like a classic movie. If you didn't see it when you were a kid, you watch it now and it's just not good. I've definitely had people tell me like, oh, Back to the Future, like I never watched it as a kid and I watch it now and I don't really like it. And I'm like, what? You don't like Back to the Future? And it like blows my mind because it's like one of my favorite movies. But it's like I get what they're saying, you know? So it's like I think there definitely are timeless games, and we're going to continue to find more of those. But we're kind of blowing through the iPhone games because we're being forced to, and the last one wasn't very good. This one isn't very good. I don't know. Controversial opinion, guys, and change my mind if you disagree, but I don't think mobile games are very good. I know that's like an elitist kind of gaming opinion, and people are like, hey, you can't judge a game by its medium and all this stuff. There's a handful of mobile games I can think of that I have legit played, had installed and like played just for fun, wasn't making a video, nothing like that. And I get why mobile games exist. They're like good time wasters on the bus and stuff like that. And like, not only that, like I legit would like come and sit on a couch in the evening and play a couple different mobile games over the years. But on the whole, besides a handful of exceptions, it is hard for me to really point to a large library of amazing mobile games. And you know what? Changed my mind. Maybe I'm overlooking a huge swath of games out there. But it's like Univor was one, the Stranger Things mobile game, which was really like Legend of Zelda. There were a couple puzzle games I liked back in the day. 2048, I think, was pretty good. That was just a puzzle game. So it's like there's a handful of puzzle games. Mobile games lend themselves well to puzzle games, I think. But dot squishing white screens, I feel like, come on, you can do better, you know? It's like when a kid hands in homework or something that they clearly did in the last minute, and you look at it and you're like, you know, I know you're capable of so much more. I know the iPhone can do more than a white screen and a couple of dots, so I'm not mad, but I am disappointed in the iPhone for this particular case. So there you go. Guys, what do you think of this game? Let me know in the comments down below. And also Amiga and My Secret Identity. Did any of you guys watch that out there? Anyone, any big fans of Jerry O'Connell out there? Let me know in the comments down below. Might as well talk about something. And hope you guys did enjoy this most random of all videos. And hopefully me just randomly, absent-mindedly scrolling through this Amiga magazine was enough retro gaming fix for today. Tune back in soon where we will have another game and another game from that damn book. And let me tell you, book, you better bring your A game for the next game. That's all I have to say. That's all I have to say, book. Don't screw it up again. You don't fuck this up, book. And we'll see what the book gives us. Till next time, my friends, you'll take care of yourselves. In peace.
Just kids trying to do what they should. They're growing up in the neighborhood, or they're up the street and around the bend. They're called the Edison twins. Now every day is a different trial, and they pull through with a lot of style. Always getting out of trouble that they get in. Life with the Edison twins. And if you use your head, you'll always win. You know the Edison twins. Oh no, 2 days are quite the same. Life is just a learning game. And if you use your head, you'll always win. Just like the Edison twins.